What's up and welcome to NASCAR 2011, the game for the Nintendo Wii. So today, another celebration because as of this recording, it's still the weekend leading up to Talladega. So before I get started with what today's video is about, I just want to mention again, you can see it there at the bottom of your screen. Look it up on Facebook, Davis 2 Motorsports, or you can click the link in the description. It'll be the very first thing in the description for you guys to check out. A wonderful race team that I get to do photography for. Privileged to do so, honored to do so with a great group of people building an awesome race car that's racing in North Alabama every Saturday night at Huntsville Speedway, and our driver won his third race ever there. So it's really special, and we would really like to share the journey live every Saturday night, stream it on Facebook, but Facebook requires so many likes to do so. So if you guys wouldn't mind, again, I usually don't ask for these things, but if you could go over there and give it a like, that would be truly appreciated. Give it a follow. We really want to share every Saturday night what we are doing out there at the Huntsville Speedway. It is really for fans of motorsports, up-and-coming motorsports teams, just all over. It's for you, and I hope that you can go over there and find something that you like. So we would appreciate it greatly if you go over there and give us a like. So with that said, I'm going to leave that there for the rest of the video because I think it'll just be on the track. It shouldn't be in the way. I know a lot of people hate animations and stuff on the screen, but that one should be all right where it's at. So this coming weekend, as of this recording, Talladega. And as in my previous video, NASCAR 15, well, I wanted to do a race with Dale Jr. at Talladega, and what that ended up being was an absolute massacre. It was like 1987 last race, the race that caused restrictor plates. Last race before they ever put them in. That Davey Allison domination, just pure out of here, blown away kind of race. So I'm looking for something better this time. So I'm going to go with Dale Jr. He's got the amp energy going on in this game. And he's also going to be, I guess this is choose your favorite driver deal. Again, just started this game. I've only gone into the options menu to take away all assists because I'm going to play it on toughest difficulty. And I took the music off, obviously, for copyright purposes. I don't want to get copyrighted. So this game's got a career, single player, multiplayer. Let's see. I guess I can change my car if I wanted to change the car again. Let's just go into single player. I've already noticing differences from NASCAR 15. Not getting to choose trivia. I'm having to read very fast and guess if I was interested, which I'm not. I'm not reading that and not trying to take a guess. NASCAR drivers, Dale Earnhardt Jr. So it put it right on Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's good. Good deal. This time, if I do tunings, it's not going to be like the last video either. That was an insane tuning that absolutely just had me going around the track squatted, like one of those squatted pickup tracks. It was insane. So we got race now, track test, eliminator. I'm not going to do any track testing on this. I'm just going to go in, do a setup, qualify, do a race, and try to do, you know, something more along the lines of a typical setup that you would do. I've used ChatGPT here to help me with a setup that could potentially, you know, I might not finish first, but maybe with pit strategy I can. I don't know. We'll find out. So let's see, what can we set this on? So I'm guessing if you want more than 50 laps, you would have to put it in. But let's just do that. Let's do, they call it NASCAR. That's what we'll do. 50 laps. I'm going to do that on the hardest difficulty. 42 opponents, 50 laps. Qualification, so qualifying on. Tire wear and fuel on. Damage, I'm going to do full this time because last time I was worried about potentially blowing up my engine with a setup. That's not going to be the case this time. I'm not going to do a setup that would blow up the engine. And caution flags, so that sounds good. So yeah, let's go to Talladega. It took me 5 minutes to get us here. Let's do it. And as you can see there, yeah, all assists are off. I had spin assist on last time because the setup, again, that I had at the time on NASCAR 15 was absolutely wild. Now, I wanted to try this game on PS3. And I was going to scrounge eBay, get it, hook my PS3 up. But I was like, wait, I got the Dolphin emulator. Why not try it? And I know that a lot had to be sacrificed, obviously, for them to port this over. So far, just from looking at the garage, it kind of has almost some PS2 graphic feel to it. But, which is fine with me. Okay, no menu. Continue qualifying. So we're qualifying, no practice or anything. Restart, retire, and then options. I did not mean to double tap that. Driver assist. There is nothing about doing a setup on here. Right, so let's just qualify on very hard with no setup. Well, look at the pole time over there. It's a 51.16 from Jeff Burton. It's not like it's the fast. You would expect like a 49, maybe even 48 for the very hardest difficulty in the game. That is not the case. So what did I do in the last video? I think it was 43 laps or 37 laps, something along the lines of that. I upped the ante a little bit with 50 laps, and now no car setup at all. Just you jump right into it. But you know, with that setup I had on NASCAR 15, I was running an insane 47-second laps. That is not going to be the case here.
Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green.
If the AI at best can run 51, what am I going to be able to run? I mean, if I keep going around the track at 190, like this, 189, 188 coming out of the turn, slowly building back up to 190, but I mean, still, this should be a relatively faster lap than Jeff Burton has posted on the pole. Now, I wonder if that's, well, no, I look at the map down there at the bottom left, there's no other cars coming onto the track, so it's not just like there's going to be more to qualify. That's it. That's the time to beat, and I think I'm going to beat that with at least a 50-second lap, if not a 49, not a 49, but definitely 50. 50.5, and I've got the pole on very hard without any car tuning whatsoever. I guess that is one of the sacrifices that was taken out to port it, possibly. Whoa, a little tight coming out of that turn. That'll be an issue if I can't loosen the car up. I feel like it needs to be loosened up. At least then I felt like it. Otherwise, the look of the track, to me, I feel more like I'm at Daytona than Talladega in the turns. But other than that, the look of the track is good. The look of the car kind of gives me the NASCAR Thunder vibe. But I'm still getting the feeling, same feeling of driving that I had in NASCAR 15 when I was recording that video.
Oh, baby. That's huge, man.
Oh, ran an even faster lap there. So I ended up with a 50.39 for the pole. It's a whole second faster. Now, yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, when I recorded the NASCAR 15 video, I had that insane setup. I ran a whole second faster, and I blew the track away. So you're telling me I'm running a second faster here. I'm on the hardest difficulty with no tuning. Now, the whole reason I did this was to have a closer race. I didn't even think that I would win this. I thought, I'll do what I can, try to finish in the top 10. Because again, here I'm coming back to commentary to do a little bit of what I guess you could say advertisement for this. I would say what I'd call a sponsor of this video, Davis Tow Motorsports. Be sure to check that out in the link in the description. But yeah, that's kind of what brought me back here. But I figured if I could have a tighter, closer race, that would be more entertaining for viewers that would also be better for pointing out what I'm advertising. That not be the case. I wasn't a full second faster, but I don't know. So my options are go to the garage. But I don't know if that means actually go to a garage where I could do some tuning or main menu, because when I was in the main menu and I turned the music down, it said turn down garage music. So I'm not too confident. I do not want to qualify again, which is actually an option you can also use. The only other thing is go to race. Well, let me take a swig of my Mountain Dew Amp Energy, because yes, I actually did go to the store and bought one of these things just for this as I start up the race. And I gotta say, that is absolutely disgusting. Love the car.
Nice and easy shift here. Nice and smooth.
So you can basically, same as NASCAR 15, to look at your car. And oh, by the way, yeah, oh, look, rival. You have rivals on here. I pointed that in 15 that you didn't have rivals no more. What was that just popped up on the screen? Oh, so you got a point system and you have rivals. And I'm also leaving everyone in the dust on very hard. Wow. Okay. So, I hope you enjoy, everybody, that I'm about to put up virtually the same exact video that I put up just before this one. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I'm also going to leave a link to that in the description, because I'm going to be bringing that up a lot. I already have brought it up a lot the previous video, so I'll leave the link in it, because, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand at this point. I'm gone. This is just a standard setup. I have not done anything. There's no mods, there's no hacking. All I've done is took and, you know, up the internal resolution and put the game in widescreen. And I mean, that's literally just it. I mean, so it's probably made the game look a little bit better than it usually would, especially given that it's a 4x3 game, and I put some, you know, some of the things in widescreen, the car, the track, but also some of the writing, the gauges, things like that, seemed to stay in 4x3 and then just stretched. So the widescreen was a little weird. I don't know if this has something to do with emulation, though. I feel like this can't possibly have been released in a condition where you can just put it on very hard and drive off. Maybe it has. If there's anybody with any experience with this particular Wii version of this game that could leave me a comment and let me know. I am not excited about the idea of doing another video where I completely blow everyone away.
Your rival's gaining position.
And while I'm talking over here, I'm trying to find a button to look behind me, and I cannot do it at all. Well, I guess we can drive from inside the car a little bit. Yeah, that mirror doesn't even work right there. So I'm guessing no mirror on this game. That is that analog, moving it like that is absolutely atrocious. Let's stop doing that. Ooh, I had to let off the throttle there. Not that it's going to hurt me much. Okay, so let's get out of this. I let off the throttle again, just kind of feeling that the car is tight and I can't do anything about it whatsoever. There was no... Well, there was that track testing thing in the menu. Maybe I was supposed to go there and do a setup and then you save it and just stays applied. I need to know more about this game. I just literally launched it and decided, I'm going to start recording now. I should have checked it out a little bit. The only things I really have checked out as far as this game goes is the Wii version, and I read a little bit about what people had to say about the PS3 version and the Xbox 360 version. So maybe that was a bad idea. I don't know. I mean, this is just, again, another complete dominant race, just like before. NASCAR games are really hit or miss. Most of them are miss. I mean, for me, the NASCAR Thunder Days, they're the best. So I like the feel of the graphics, or the look of the graphics, because it's reminded me of the NASCAR Thunder Days. And then the feel of the driving reminds me a lot of NASCAR 15, which I love that game. I've had a difficult time with it over the years when I do play it, but I like the way it drives. Look how far gone already. Wow, just hard to believe. Oh, and it shows me how many laps I can go on fuel down there. So that's nice. I'm just now noticing that. I'm trying to look around the screen a little bit. 35 laps left on the fuel tank. So there'll be one stop made. I was looking for that on NASCAR 15, and it did not tell me. So I don't know if there's a way that I can change that on NASCAR 15 where it will tell me how many laps.
Just keep doing it.
Or maybe it does and I missed it. Or maybe it's a feature they just took away. So now I guess I figure out what to talk about for the next, so many, 40-something laps. Yeah, I'm just kind of, this is not me being rusty on the mic anymore. This is me being flabbergasted that I literally just launched a game up the first time, put it on the hardest difficulty, take the pole, and then blow the field away. I mean, I kind of already felt it when I saw that qualifying time. I was like, no way am I going to be running slower than that. Maybe close to it, not slower.
Way to go, man. No one's touched me out here today.
And I was kind of worried it was coming then. So I've been a little bit thrown off. Again, doing these videos of yesterday's video or the day before, I keep saying yesterday. Yesterday's when it uploaded. As of this recording, but doing these videos has been a good alignment because being able to do photography for a motorsports team, it puts me around racing and the grassroots type of racing, which has been amazing because I watched the 2024 Daytona 500. I decided I wanted to get back into watching. I'd been playing Gran Turismo and other racing games like Forza and stuff like that. F1 game even, and then I was drawn to the idea of getting back into NASCAR because the last time I'd really watched was the 2015 season, and I'll kind of explain a bit of that. I talked about it in the last video, but I'll explain it again. But anyway, I watched that race. I was like, no, this is not for me. So I spent a lot of last year going to the Cars Tour and going to different tours with the late model cars. I went to Pensacola, the Cars Tour, got a chance to meet Kevin Harvick, which was really cool. Just a brief picture or whatever. It wasn't a conversation or anything like that. But then I go to Nashville Fairgrounds and I'm watching the late models. They remind me a lot of the 01 kind of through 06, I think it was, era of NASCAR's generation of cars at the time. So I've really enjoyed that. And I hope to get to do more of that down the line, but right now as a team we're working to try to get there ourselves and have our own late model, and then those races inspired us. And so you can go back to really say we're inspired since that era of NASCAR. It was a wonderful era. There was just that one race that a lot of people talk about being their last, and for me it wasn't necessarily my last race, but the 2001 Daytona 500. I watched a little bit more after Senior passed. I watched Kevin Harvick win in Atlanta. I watched Steve Park win, and those were emotional. And I just I took a break for at least until about 07, 09, and then I got back in it 2015. But I started out watching a lot of NASCAR just on VHS. My grandfather, on my father's side of the family, he had the best room in the house. It had air conditioning, and it could be negative 30 outside, and I'll come into your house and I'll find a room where there's air conditioning, because I'm hot-natured and I need air conditioning wherever I go. And so he had the best room in the house. What he also had always going on in that room was a NASCAR race. He recorded everything on VHS, every race on VHS, and he would just sit there and watch them. And that's where I watched the 1987 Talladega, where it was the last restrictor plate, or the last race before they decided to add restrictor plates, where Davey Allison blew away everyone. His father wrecked into the catch fence. It was a wild race. And I now own that on DVD, actually, but he recorded a lot of races, and I saw a lot of races and became a big fan of Davey Allison. You know, I didn't need to grow up and watch him race live, obviously, but I got to sit in that room with my grandfather and watch a lot of good races throughout the years. With my favorite not being Dale Sr.'s win at Daytona 500. I mean, it rakes up there, but that Bristol race where he turns Terry Labonte, I think that's probably a lot of people's as well, if you're a Senior fan. But I was a fan of more than just Senior. That number 88 Quality Care Dale Jarrett car, I loved it. I remember my dad also recorded races, and he came home from work one day and he's just sitting there. It was a Pocono race. I can't remember exactly what year. It had to be 98 or 99, but he's watching possibly 2000 or something. He's watching a Pocono race, and here comes that, Quality Care 88 Dale Jarrett car, and it takes the lead, and I just couldn't help but have kind of a smile on my face. And it's one of those deals where you're not allowed to. He's recorded it, don't spoil it. But the look on my face spoiled it, and he pointed it out, and he was like, "Yeah, Dale Jarrett won, didn't he?" And I was just kind of like, didn't want to say anything. I didn't want my head going flying across the room for spoiling the race or whatever. But yeah, it was a funny moment. And of course, yes, Dale Jarrett won the race. Man, so I liked a lot of drivers from that era. I just wasn't particular, but it was just kind of this overall, what do we do from here feeling when Senior passed. And you tried to hang on a few races. Some people didn't hang on anymore. That was it. When he died, they were done. I tried to hang on a few more races, and I did, but it wasn't the same thing anymore. And then all these things that have been implemented since, all the different cars that's come along.
Brake control, man. Now slingshot pass when you're ready.
It's 14 laps in, and I'm dominating so much enough to start lapping cars down.
Clear on the right.
This is more domination than the last Talladega race I've done. Yeah, that was my early NASCAR life. It's always been a part of my childhood. Sometimes I feel like, or always was a part of my childhood. Sometimes I forget, and I feel like NASCAR and racing in general was bigger than I think people realize in my life, and sometimes bigger than I realize. And I didn't just watch NASCAR. I watched a lot of F1. I watched a lot of Michael Schumacher, who's my favorite F1 driver. So I loved motorsports in general. So to have this opportunity to be able to be in motorsports, even just in photography, it's awesome. It really is. It's something just really awesome, and I'm really enjoying it. And that's why I've brought that to the attention of the channel, because I don't really ever ask for likes or subscribes, anything like that. I don't have anything against it. I just personally, I don't ask for it. But when it comes to this, I feel this is bigger than me, bigger than my channel, and I want to do anything I can to help this team, because it is a special group of family and family-oriented people that are doing, wonderful work. To win in the third race ever for any of us, especially our driver, that's really special. And to be a part of that is special. So I want to do what I can to contribute. And I figured I would bring myself back to commentary for one, and then also try to advertise Davis 2 Motorsports as much as possible. Because racing, NASCAR, mostly NASCAR, but racing in general, it was on and off. Yeah, I stopped watching in 2001 at some point, but then I came back and watched some races in 07 through 09. Had a tragic incident in my life that actually led to me traveling a lot in 2015. So I mentioned this race in the last video as well. I went to the fall Talladega race, which is the last NASCAR race I've been to, but I went to Bristol that year. I went to Charlotte, Richmond. You know, I got to see Kyle Busch win the Xfinity race in Bristol in 2015. So you guys can, you know, go Google search that one and you'll find out what race Boneyards was on or at. But I was on TV. I think that's what I was going to say next, and I get that little crossed up there. But yeah, I was on TV in that race. So be sure to go check that out. See if you can spot, even though you don't know what I look like, see if you can spot me and think, that's got to be this guy. Match the voice up with a person.
Lights all clear, bud.
I'm starting to fumble a little bit on what I'm trying to all say because I'm in the middle of lapping down cars. This is the most racing that I've had to do since I started this race. And they're so much slower than me. I'm having to check up repeatedly. And my car's a little tight for when it catches the draft with these cars. Oh, Brad Klowski. Come on, do you not have a spotter? Okay, so got a little bit of action going on here. It's in with, lapping cars. Kurt Busch closing in behind me. Wants to get his lap back. So this is what I thought I would be doing. I would be racing and I would be talking about the cars behind me like Kurt Busch, bump drafting. This is what I was wanting to do in the last video when I ran away with it with a ridiculous setup I found online. And in this game, I figure if I don't look for a setup, I'm constantly going to be battling probably anywhere for a top 20, possibly even a top 30 on the hardest difficulty, but that's not the case. I'm battling to lap cars down. I really would like to pass these two. Oh yeah, really tight coming out of that turn if you take it high. I'd like to loosen the car up a little bit. I wonder if you can make any adjustments besides tires and fuel when you go into the pit stop. I'm just going to guess that that is something that got taken away when they went to port. I would hope that the PS3 version is not like this. I hope you would be able to use a setup. So I think, am I coming up on second place and have the full track a lap down? I mean, it's that rival car. Who was that? Jeff Burton, that was my rival. I wonder if it's going to be an issue getting around him. Oh, he's fifth, so there's already some other cars that broke away and that are going, I guess, a little bit faster at least.
Right there, man. Nice and smooth. Low side.
So I nearly, by lap 20, have the entire field lapped down. That would have to be, I guess the cars, if I look at my map there, that are a little bit more grayed out. Maybe they're the ones that I still haven't put a lap down or something. I mean, I'm yellow, my rival's red. There's cars in front of us that are fourth, third, and second. There's three of them. And there looks like that's exactly what there is. It looks like there's three kind of grayed out, not solid gray little dots on the mini map down there. So I'm guessing that's, well, no, there's more than that. So that's not it. I'm not understanding that mini map. That's for sure. But that'll be all right. I think I'm just trying to find things to worry about or discuss at this point. Well, I've kind of been doing that the whole time. I just told my history of how NASCAR has been in my life throughout. Coming up in the 90s. I've been through the 2000s now, a little bit that I've watched there. 2015, the last year I truly watched Kyle Busch, win the championship, and I am a Kyle Busch fan. I became a Kyle Busch fan because of the driving, though. I'm not the type of person that gets online, back then I wasn't anyway, and would see any of the noise, I guess you could say. I didn't see a lot of driver interviews. I didn't see a lot of that stuff, just the races. And mostly the last end of a race. By the time it's Sunday and a race is going and I remember, oh hey, they were racing today or whatever, it's mostly over. Or I caught it at someone else's house and Kyle Busch would always be in the lead. I'm just like, that guy can drive. He's always in the lead, whatever, and I became a Kyle Busch fan. But I was always, back in the day, I was a fan. There's so many drivers you mentioned for the 90s. Mark Martin. I love watching him in the Busch Series. That was just, which I guess you're still supposed to call the Xfinity Series technically or whatever, but it won't be a year from now. So it is what it is. Back then it was the Busch Series, and that Winn-Dixie car that he drove, it was classic. I mean, Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte, so many, just so many. There's too many to name. It's almost like when you go to thank sponsors and you start forgetting. Nowadays, what you got in 2024? Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. There you go. I mean, and it's them because it seems like they're the best ones at driving the Gen 7 cars. Maybe I've left somebody out that I haven't seen. Ryan Blaney, so there's 3. Definitely not Kyle Busch, having the worst time of his career ever. But yeah, there's not much to talk about. The rules, the one thing that I probably watch with NASCAR right now, and I watched the first one, I looked it up on YouTube, is that Chicago street race. And everyone was spinning out. And there was shorts, of course. There's a lot of shorts on that race. People spinning out in the rain and everything. So I went and I looked that up. I watched last year's with Alex Bowman, won. So I enjoy that because I enjoy street racing. And then, you add that I like NASCAR. At least I did at one point. And I got to watch that. Now, I'd love to watch some late models out there doing the Chicago street race. Or I'd love to see some late models, say, at Talladega. But I'll take what I can get for now. I can tell you, if you've never been to Nashville Fairgrounds, go there. Pensacola, go see that at Five Flags. Go see that Snowball Derby or any races they have out there at Five Flags. Go see the late models if you've never seen them in person. Just absolutely amazing. And it would be nice if I set up a camera. I went and looked at them, but I didn't see anything that I would particularly want to invest in right now. Plus, I don't know if these videos are going to go anywhere, especially if I keep having these boring, dominating races. But as far as, say, cameras go, I looked at some cameras, and if I decided to do a face reveal, talk on the microphone and everything, I have a perfect setup of late models behind me and some NASCAR recent models as well as older models, die-casts that would be kind of just behind me. That's the way I've set up this room. It wasn't on purpose, but they would be in frame. So I kind of have the perfect setup to transition to a NASCAR-like channel where I come in and I play these NASCAR games. Obviously, I need to be making some better choices because this is just me driving around Talladega, trying not to put any scratches, on my car for 50 laps. And I was thinking about doing a full race. Could you imagine if I had done a full race? And I would dedicate myself to it. It would have been, okay, I'm blowing everyone away. I got to figure out how to talk for 188 laps. And already I'm 27 laps in, and I felt like I've told my life story. Starting to feel more like a podcast than it is a race.
Okay, let's use that clean air. Keep digging.
Kind of like when you're scrolling through TikTok or you're scrolling through YouTube Shorts, because that's what I scroll through. I leave TikTok alone. But, just when you're scrolling through the shorts, the reels, TikToks, whatever, you'll come across one where there's maybe a podcast and you watch a ball bounce around some kind of course and try to get through it. Or you watch a hot knife cutting into different objects while someone's also telling a comedy stand-up joke, or a part of a podcast is being replayed where somebody told a funny story or whatever. So that's kind of what this is, but it's going to end up being a full hour's worth instead. Yeah, I guess I just ran out of things though. 28 laps is all I had for just random conversation with myself that people will hear over the internet potentially, or not at all. This, imagine I do all this and then he gets about 4-5 views. Here lately though, anything that I've put up like NASCAR wise, it does have a spike, and it's getting a little bit of views. So I hope that keeps being the case, because now that I'm coming back on microphone, I mean, I know people don't enjoy animations being on their videos when they're watching it, so I do have the Davis 2 Motorsports at the bottom, but if I continue to do this, that won't always be the case. And again, do the face reveal, get me a little camera up, then, if that works out and it goes somewhere, get an even better camera. Because on my channel, I've never thought about this as a way to make money. I've never monetized my channel, even though I could. For me, it was always just, I'm going to play games that I'm into at the moment and I enjoy. And that's kind of the way it's been for a long time. I mean, when I initially started out, it was about Mortal Kombat Mobile. That was the game that I played and did commentary behind. And I did want that to lead to something. But since then, it's just kind of been, I'm going to keep the channel alive. I'm going to keep uploading here and there whenever I play something, whether that be Wolfenstein, Resident Evil, whatever. I'll just upload portions of it or capture everything and upload that over time. Or stuff like Silent Hill 2. I did a lot of Silent Hill 2 videos recently, or Metal Gear Solid, stuff like that. So, all of it done without commentary. But again, stars aligned. I've been playing a lot of NASCAR games. They're getting views. I'm on this motorsports team, so it may be something to where, if you guys see this, you head over to the motorsports page, you see the pictures that I take, you see our team, you see the races every weekend where we'll be streaming them. And then you can come to my channel and check out me trying to figure out what NASCAR game is going to be best, and not most challenging, but something that can be challenging to me, because I know there's plenty of games that are in the NASCAR series that can be really difficult, and I could make them really difficult for myself if I wanted to. That's not my deal either, but I don't want something where I'm dominating the field. I want to be able to be in contention to win, but potentially lose if I make little, mistakes, obviously. And I mean, like you're in a real race. I don't want it to be something I have no chance at every time I step in here either. But I could end up, per request, doing something, challenges, whatnot. I'm sure there's certain settings for certain games that have challenges, and see if you can do this challenge or whatever. There's a lot of potential out there, because I haven't done, but this is my second one commentary, and I think maybe 6 or 7 total NASCAR videos in the last year. So there's a lot of potential. I don't know how I talked and got by those cars. That's going to be the entertainment of this video. Is you pass some lap cars. I don't know if that officially puts at least everyone a lap down. I guess I'll find out when there's the results. Yeah, I still got to say, the dominance or not, that I really do enjoy the feel of this game. The look and feel on the Wii. So I'm hoping it's something to do with emulation, which means I need to, obviously do this on an actual Wii if that's the case, or if there's settings I can change to get the AI not to be so slow. I definitely want to do that.
Looking good right here. Let's play shot around it right now. Left side's all clear.
More lapped cars to focus on getting around here.
Yeah, this can work.
Oh, I just knew I was going to catch a clip of that back of that car.
Clear right side.
Doesn't look like it did any real damage. They just kind of checked up. Maybe that's the deal, is every time they're getting on the backstretch, they're checking up.
Okay, let's use that clean air. Keep digging.
I went by so fast, I didn't even get a catch of the name of the driver that I got a hold of right there.
Car up high. Right side clear.
That's got to be at least everyone a lap down, maybe even some 2 or 3 laps down, doesn't it?
Nice and smooth.
I feel like I've done a lot of talking and I've passed a lot of cars and I don't realize how many I have passed. Obviously, pit stops are going on now that I look down at the bottom left. So far, that side always looks like that, so that's not damage. And the front, you know, kind of looks a little texture funny as well. I did a internal resolution of 8K, although I will not be uploading in that. I don't even know if you can upload in 8K. Won't even be 4K either. It'll just be a 1080. But I think this will still come out looking pretty good. I gotta imagine that, you know, comparison to what this really looks like on the Wii version, which from what I understand is a 4x3, so this has got to look, making this game look a lot better than it would if I did have it on actual Wii. But my worry on that is it the emulation making these cars act like that, or is it just this game? They're so slow. I mean, I'm flying by them like they are sitting still. I need to just go back to the NASCAR Thunder games. In fact, there's a new mod for the NASCAR Thunder 2003. There's already the NASCAR Thunder 2000 mod for the, I guess what people would call the Cup series. I don't know if a lot of people would. That car's turned to the left. There's kind of crouched, almost like that ride I had in the last video. But nonetheless, there is a mod for the Busch series on NASCAR Thunder 2003, and I think it's NASCAR 2000 Busch series or something like that. It's the name of the mod. And then, that would be pretty cool probably to put on the channel. Also, I could do like a career mode, go from week to week, do commentary, and then once I'm done with that, I could move back to the Winston Cup 2000 mod and then do a career there. And I know on that game, I could make the settings, you know, I could not mess with setups since I'm so horrible at doing setups. I could not make setups and just probably play on veteran, win some, lose some, try to win the championship overall. I'm sure there's a lot of other content creators that do that type of thing too. Surprisingly enough, for someone that's doing this all of a sudden, I haven't looked at many other content creators. I looked up something for all the NASCAR Wii games in general when I realized I could get this on the Wii. I wanted to kind of know about it a little bit. And there was 3 other games. There was Inside the Line, and there was something that was like a kind of a Mario Kart. And then something kind of like a Burnout game, and I just kind of skipped to this one. So that's maybe the second NASCAR creator the YouTube content that I've ever even watched. So again, it's funny that, you know, something I'm starting to do and could be potentially, you know, gain some viewership. I've never watched anyone else do it. So I don't have any inspiration outside of being a part of a motorsports team and just enjoying NASCAR. Old school NASCAR, not new, not, you know, not the Cup Series, not current Cup Series NASCAR.
Okay, let's go. Show him who's the man.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and come down pit road. This lap, I just looked down. Well, no, I'm going too fast. I'll come in next lap. Boy, I made that decision a little late.
Doing great. Nice and steady.
Thankfully, there's 2.2 laps left.
Looking good. He passed the cars.
You know, because I was like, hey, I need to come in. Then I realized I was way too far up. I don't want to draw any penalties. And here is that beeping. The same beeping from NASCAR 15 that makes me feel like my blood pressure is going up in a hospital bed while I'm deadly sick.
Clear left. Whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it.
So, something else. A lot of so's in this video now that I'm just trying to find something to talk about. And I completely went blank on what I was going to talk about there because I realized I need to slow down here. Started thinking about that.
We don't want to run out of fuel, buddy. Take a look at your gauge.
Yeah, and we don't want to speed in pit road like I often do either. Alright, so how does this work?
Use that clean air.
I guess oh yeah, look over to the right. I can make the car a little bit looser. It's about right there, maybe. Can't believe I had to go press up on the fuel instead of just being able to press a button that said fill. There was also an advanced setting there, but there's not a lot of time. Why am I getting a loading screen? That crashed? Oh, okay, here we go. Alright, so yeah, that front right looks okay where I made a little tap with that car. That's some strong sheet. That tire just put itself on, that right rear tire. Just kind of slid into place. And then stayed there. I just left this. Well, there's a tire there, but I just left pit road with that tire there. So that tire has teleportation capabilities. That's good. So there's a little funniness going on with pit road. But hey, as long as it don't crash, I'm okay with a little funniness on pit road. I can do with that. I can deal with that. At least it's not something out of NASCAR Ignition 21, because that is the kind of stuff you can't deal with. That game is ridiculous. Now, there's a lot of NASCAR games that have issues and bugs, and well, really all of them that I know of exist have some bugs, but they're funny. And you can get a laugh out of it. And that right there is one of them. I mean, just straight up left pit road. That tire slid on itself, then decided to stay there, and then teleported back onto the car. So that's an incredible Goodyear right there. That is the best Goodyear that Goodyear has well ever made. Because it just saved me. Because I can be this far ahead if I want to, but if I don't have a right rear tire on this car, I don't think I'm going to be winning. That would be a disqualification, which I would go back all the way to 43rd over. Do you imagine? That whoever that was behind me was literally just right there. And I am leaving them. And I am now starting to catch onto my rival, where I'm going to go back and put him whatever lap down he is. I can't wait to see the results on this. So I can see just how many laps down everyone is. It's pretty wild.
Okay, let's use that clean air. Keep digging.
I'm going to have to try out some other tracks to see if it really is just this track and it is this game, if emulation settings have resulted in some kind of AI failure. I'm not really sure. Okay, so he's currently 8th. I feel like I've passed him a couple of times, at least. So he's got to be 3-4 laps down in 8th place. So there is some tuning to this game. If you can tune super quick. Car feels a lot better, by the way, that I made those changes. So there is some amount of tuning to this game and the pit stops. I'm guessing there is if I would have gone and actually done the testing. Oh yeah, finally got under 40 or under 50 seconds to 49.80.
Doing great.
Nice.
Second place is way back.
But I could get a lot faster than that if I was able to get a draft somewhere. I don't know. I might have to check out NASCAR Inside the Line next and see if this AI is better. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with this.
We could do this all day.
There was something I really wanted to mention before I went to pit stops, but I know that I overshoot pit road a lot, so once I realized I needed to do that, it just kind of went away. Again, I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I've talked on a microphone, and now I've done it for a couple of videos, and that's it. I'm going to get away with a pretty much scratch-free. I mean, it didn't put a dent in my car for whatever reason earlier when I tapped into the rear end of somebody that I can't remember because I didn't look up fast enough to see who it was. I just was trying to pass, saw a bit of their tail end, and then boom. Ooh, maybe a little bit too loose now. I just lost concentration there. Really, this feels much better.
Awesome work, buddy. You're making my life easy up here.
So I'm wondering what career mode, things like that would be like in this game. But again, if the AI is like this on every track, it's not worth checking out. But the career mode would be, you know, interesting if all the other tracks are good. I know that I'd get a win here.
Nice and smooth. You're way out in front.
But if the other tracks are not like this, and then the AI is actually pretty dominant, or they're, you know, respectable. Road courses, probably without them being respectable or not. I'm so bad at road courses, it probably would be a challenge still. But this is not. This is definitely not a challenge. This is just pure dominance. I'm curious as to what these points do. I'm sure there's things to be unlocked in this game, and if the career mode is kind of bland because they had to port it over, the points may be a way to, you know, unlock stuff beyond more than career mode. I mean, I can't think of it being anything else. Maybe I just need to stick to NASCAR Thunder games like I was talking about.
You're making my life easy up here.
I keep trying to figure out in my head, like, well, do I need to go test other tracks? What do I need to do here? Probably go with the NASCAR Thunder games because that's actually where I noticed a peak in viewership a little bit. I know that I had a couple of videos of NASCAR 15 last year I put up that also did the same thing. Viewership just suddenly peaked once I was putting them up. So I don't know if, you know, NASCAR, the game in general, whether it's 11 or whether it's 14 or 15 or those or whatever were really popular games. I know the only thing I really remember for 15 before I played it again last year was, again, its soundtrack. I talked about this in the last video. That Breaking Southwest song, Rubber on This Road, is really what I took away the most. At the time, I didn't particularly have too many favorite drivers, just Dale Jr. and Kyle Busch, which really, I guess, is the same thing with these games. Or the same thing with this game as it would be that game. I haven't gone through... I haven't noticed me pass Kyle Busch, actually. But I have not gone through the roster on this game and see what drivers there is and there is not. I know there's Jeff Burton because he's my rival, but everyone else I'm kind of flying by so quick I'm not really seeing it. Their names, like I talked about earlier, some things are definitely in proper widescreen, and then some things are just like when you take a 4:3 image and stretch it to 16:9. And for me, it's making it hard to read for whatever reason. I know I've seen Jennifer Jo Cobb, Brad Kowalski, who's right there in front of me. There's David Gilligan, who caused me to hit Brad because I had to let up and not hit him.
Good drafting, buddy, right there. Nice and smooth. We can do this all.
Not what I want to do on my final lap, make contact, put damage on my car. But I think this game has shown that you've got to make some major contact. I've got damage on full. I know everyone saw me set the settings. There's no edits here. This is all real time.
Got one working the top.
Oh yeah, loosening it up really is helping me get to there. Yeah, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb, who I'm going to pass. Not to take the lead, but, you know, this last car I'm going to pass as I win this race, and I cannot wait to see how many laps down everyone is. Goodness, this is finally over. Do I get to celebrate? Oh, what was that about? little tap at the end. Maybe it was one of those celebration taps. Or congratulations. Oh, so I only got like 20-something seconds to do burnouts. That's strange. Because I would like to turn around, and you get points for it. Look at that. I'd like to turn around and celebrate it in the grass. But I'll take it. Let's see if we can break 400 here real quick. Let's break 500. I hope that counted. I don't know. It looks like Dale Jr. a little bit. I don't know. It also looks like a wrestler that is coming to mind in my head, but I can't put a name to the face. So yeah, I'm ranking up. It's XP basically. I kind of figured that much. Getting some paint schemes unlocked. Now I'm an elite driver. You might as well just, level me all the way up. Pure domination on legend. Give me everything. That's I guess as far as I made it. Rival victory, burnout bonus. It did count. I got 608 points on that. So let's see. Man, it's not showing how many laps everyone was down. And the time that I finished, I was able to finish almost a minute ahead. That's it. How did Brad finish? Oh, okay, because once I crossed the finish line, the next time they crossed the finish line, it's over for them. So that's how long it then took them. Okay, but still, I should be able to see how many laps down everyone. I didn't get to see. So I guess this is a way to check out the roster, though. Of course you got Jeff Gordon. Of course you got Yemi. Whole 9 yards reference there. Kevin Harvick. Well, I'll have to do a race as Kevin Harvick. If I do another race on here, I can figure out what's going on with the AI. Definitely Kevin Harvick. Brad Keselowski. I think Joey Logano would be in the 20 Home Depot car here. I would not like a big Joe Logano fan or anything, but I will do a race with him as well in that particular car on here. If I could figure out that AI situation, or if I end up going into a game store, maybe retro game store, going on eBay, finding this anywhere on the shelf for PS3. My rival finished 8, Tony Stewart, Trevor Bayne, and so forth. There's Kyle Busch. I said I did not see Kyle Busch. Well, he was here somewhere. I just don't remember seeing him. They got that wrong. Is that her best technical finish in NASCAR just now? In this race at Talladega? One of the top ones for sure. Mark Martin's on here. Kurt Busch, I did remember seeing him. And Jamie McMurray. Martin Truex Jr., I remember seeing him, passing him. There's Joey Logano. I thought I remember seeing him as well, but I wasn't sure of it. Bill Elliott, still, racing at the time. Again, this was a time frame when I was not really watching 2011 at all, so I didn't know who's still racing, who wasn't. Some of these names, like I don't know who Scott Speed is. That sounds like somebody on NASCAR Thunder. That would be number 113, made up driver. Marcus Ambrose sounds like somebody who would be a wrestler. Remember these guys: Ryan Newman, Todd Bodine, Matt Kenseth, Jennifer Jo Cobb. I know NASCAR Heat 5 truck driver. Of course, Bobby Labonte, Travis Quapple, Ryan Truex, Carl Edwards, dead last. I think we should switch Carl Edwards with Danica, honestly, and then this game might have something right. Something. So let's just exit back to the garage. Let's see if we unlocked a scheme for Junior. If he has any schemes, and how do you access it? Because I didn't see a button that said anything about schemes when I selected a driver. Well, that was pure dominance. That was pretty much a replay of my last video. Again, I've mentioned it so much, it will be a link in the description. Oh man, that's not what I was wanting. So I'm guessing, since there is the ability to do some kind of tuning, once you pick your driver, and yeah, I don't see a button. I mean, doesn't say there's a button for anything. Maybe you just go, okay, yeah, there you go. And it's locked, even after that pure dominance that I did. The secondary is locked. I don't know if I'll be coming back to the Wii version, so I guess that's not that big of a deal. But after you pick your driver, I think that's where you get the screen for whether you want to race now, go track testing, or some kind of eliminator mode. Yeah. So I'm guessing you can go here. I'm not even going to go find out. Not yet. Not until I can figure out what the AI issue is with this game, because I love the look of it, because I'm just more for the older looking games. And when it comes to the NASCAR series, I didn't mind the feel of it at all. I just felt like I was playing NASCAR 15 again, which I like the feel of. So yeah, I'm not going to go into anything else. I'm going to back out to the garage, but I'm guessing that's where you could go probably save a setup for a track. I might be wrong about that. So there it was, NASCAR 2011, the game for the Wii. And I hope you guys enjoyed another hour-long video of me talking while driving around Talladega. I'm sorry about that. Eventually, I'm going to get a NASCAR game together with a actual competitive race and be on the microphone. Of course, you know, this might be the last one I do for a little bit. I kind of want to see if there is any real reception for it, see if people enjoy it, because it'd be pointless to keep talking through these if people would prefer me to keep uploading the ones where there is no commentary, because those are the ones currently that's got any views on them. We're not talking about crazy views or anything, but more so than anything else on the channel. And so maybe commentary help out with that. And if it does, I'll definitely do more of these. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm getting back into the feel of talking on the microphone, so that's good. I'm going to leave it with that, though, end it there, take one more gulp of this Mountain Dew Amp energy drink that I took right at the beginning of the video, and haven't touched since. Thank you, Dell Jr. Thank you, you horrible tasting Amp Energy Mountain Dew drink. Thank you, Hendrix Motorsports, for this wonderful Dell Jr. Amp Energy hat that I'm currently wearing. For a wonderful race car that absolutely blew everyone away. And NASCAR has under inspection, and everything on that car is now illegal. And thank you all for coming by and stopping by and watching this video. Hopefully I will see more NASCAR videos down the road. Thanks for watching.